At the center of Zimbabwe's political debate today is the issue of the mutilation of the Zimbabwean constitution. We know for sure that there are two warring factions within ZANU-PF. The faction for retired General Chiwenga, as well as the faction also for Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. Of course, some have a tendency of saying this should not be characterized as a factional fight. Of course, at a broader scale, but at the moment, we know within ZANU-PF we should not actually seek to disassociate or limit ourselves from saying there is factionalism. What is factionalism? There are disagreements, two camps. The other camp is for the mutilation of the constitution, and we have grouped and characterized this faction as a faction of Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. The other camp is for retired General Chiwenga, which is essentially against Mnangagwa's extension of term, as well as mutilation of the constitution. They want the two-thirds term, the two-term limits to stay intact, to exist in the constitution of Zimbabwe. So now the mind-boggling question at the moment and at the heart of this live broadcast is, will that be an achievable thing? From the look of things, the Mnangagwa faction is going ahead with the implementation of resolution number 1 that they passed through the ZANU-PF conference. Now the question is, will that succeed? Will Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa eventually manipulate the constitution in a way his faction has been interpreting it? Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So one thing which is obviously, I think if you are following the politics of Zimbabwe, is that the Mnangagwa faction looks set to actually implement resolution number 1 unconstitutionally. Now we know for sure that the constitution is clear. A term is clearly defined as 5 years. A term limit is clearly defined as 2 terms. More than that is not allowed in the constitution. The constitution does not talk about extension of the term because it was not envisaged by the people of Zimbabwe, neither was it envisaged also by the drafters of the constitution. They were content with a term of office being actually 5 years and the president not exceeding 10 years in power. Now, because Mnangagwa sees that there is absolutely no way he can get a 2/3 majority of the people of Zimbabwe twice to actually eradicate or erase the statutes within the constitution that prohibits him to go for a 3rd term. What they are seeking to do, they want to achieve the 3rd term. As one of the supporters of Mnangagwa, that is Daniel Gawe, once said, that we will actually pursue 3rd term, whether by hook or crook, of which this is what we are seeing at the moment. I can attest to you that at the moment, behind the scenes, the bill may be almost a done deal thing. Now they are waiting to actually create fake constitutional challenges to resolution number 1, of which these would be premature constitutional challenge. Anyone who challenges the 2030 at the moment, before they even talk of the bill actually finding its way to the Zimbabwean parliament, is actually an enabler of the Mnangagwa faction or a supporter of the Mnangagwa faction. I hear that the faction has spent about 3 million United States dollars to make sure that the bill, they look for fake individuals to challenge the 2030 mantra so that it could be dismissed quickly by the Constitutional Court and they go ahead to implement Resolution 2030. So now the question is, will this be allowed? I think if it goes to that stage, all eyes would be at retired General Chwenga to actually looking on whether he is going to act or not. And if that is the decision, as I have predicted, that would be carried out by the Mnangagwa faction, then Zimbabwe is heading to turbulent times, very, very difficult times. Already the ZANU-PF as a political institution has made a wrong decision. Now the question is, will they translate that decision into law? Last time they made it, but they could not translate it into law, and it dragged for the whole of the year, leading to Mnangagwa campaigning for it again to be implemented again. So from the look of things, they look set to actually pursue Resolution 2030. And on this live broadcast, as I promised, I would be answering the question also on whether is that possible, is that a possibility? Will Mnangagwa get away with 2030? I still stand on what I have predicted before, even not knowing how he will be opposed. But I can attest to you, 2030 will exist in the dreams of Emmerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. It's not something that will see the light of the day. It will not only be challenged by retired General Chwenga, but Zimbabweans will also lay their lives to stop the 2030 mantra. I've said that Mnangagwa is just forcing this thing. Even within ZANU-PF, people were leaking information. There are senior government officials around Emmerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. He doesn't know them. Of course, he doesn't have to know them. Some of them, they smile, they actually admire him on a daily basis. When they see him, they actually salute and all that. But that is meant for their security. In their heart, they are not in support of what he intends to do. So the mutilation of the Constitution will result in massive disorder and it will result in massive bloodbath in Zimbabwe. That is where we are going, because it would be opposed. And those who want to actually achieve this resolution 2030 may actually use the state machinery, because they are in possession of the state machinery. And the Zimbabweans, I must attest to you that they will oppose this with everything they have. And also the other faction in ZANU-PF will equally oppose this. You are about to see political drama you have never seen over the years. This is a dangerous stance that is being taken by the Mnangagwa faction, and they know it Mnangagwa himself knows it very, very well, but he is sending the dum-dums by blessed cases, such as Daniel Gawe, such as Ziambi. These are the dum-dums, people who are risking their lives. For a man who is living his last days, Mnangagwa, I don't think we can count him to be in this world for a longer period of time. That is why he is not worried. And if anything were to happen, he has been in government for 45 years. So he has actually lived his political dreams. But these individuals, such as Daniel Kawe, especially Ziambi, they are too young to be playing with this fire that they are playing with. So we will see a lot of drama, especially if the bill sees the light of the day in Parliament, serious opposition would be mounted. Already we have seen serious opposition being mounted, but this time around it will be visible, it will be confrontational. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very